Welcome to Walk with the Librarian. We are BiblioBirders, and today we are going to talk about how to get someone on a bird, putting them on a bird. One of the first things you might want to tell your partner is, what is the size of the bird? It's really helpful if you learn these three silhouettes and sizes so that you can help your birding partner look for a bird. This diagram of the silhouettes shows you a small house sparrow, which is about 6¼ inches, the American robin, which is 10 inches, and the American crow, which is 17 inches. Here we see a small bird at the tip of a branch. This bird is smaller than the house sparrow, and we know that this is the rufous hummingbird. Looking at the edge of a shoreline, we have another bird, but the size is in between the house sparrow of 6¼ inches and an American robin. This is the spotted sandpiper. Now looking at a bigger branch with smaller branches in the back, we have something that is between the size of an American robin and an American crow. This is our common northern flicker. And finally, something that's larger than the American crow is the osprey at about 22 inches. You now have been able to say what size the bird is. So some of the things you may want to think about too is color and field marks to help them locate it. Here we see a yellow bird with a little bit of a black bib on the end of a fence post out in a field, and this is about the size of an American robin. This is our Oregon state bird, the meadowlark. So we've now said to our partner the size of the bird and some colors to direct them to where the bird may be. Sometimes it's also the behavior of the bird that will help them see where it might be. Is it in the canopy, high in the canopy, flitting around, or is it on the ground? Let's take a look. You can see that there are small yellow birds that are flush from the ground that end up in this lone tree in the meadow. They're the American goldfinch. Recently, David Sibley of the Sibley Guidebooks had posted in the New York Times how to spot birds. And one of the things he really strongly recommended was scanning the edges of the environment or canopy. Is it on the top of a log, a snag, a bush or tree? What's on the edge of a shoreline, a pond, or a lake edge? Now that you've described the size and the color and perhaps where in the canopy the bird is that you want your partner to see, have your partner either stand in front of you or right behind your shoulders, sight the bird or movement with their eyes before lifting their binoculars up. Another helpful tip is use percentages or ratios to describe the location on a tree or shrub. Use angles 30 or 45 degrees and on the left and right hand side of the tree to help locate the bird. I am looking at a snag at about 95% up the snag. Go down 2 branches on the right hand side from the top. There's an open space of the leafy tree in front of it. It is a silhouette of a bird about the size of a robin or smaller. This is a downy woodpecker. This one is a little more difficult. We are in the Tualatin Wildlife Refuge and we're scanning the edges of a shoreline. There's a bird that is closer to the right-hand shore if you look between the 2 rocks, but about 6 feet in front of the rock on the left and 3 to 4 feet from the shore on the right. It's about robin size or smaller. Here we have a spotted sandpiper. If you've never had a chance, I recommend taking a nice slow walk through Reed Canyon. Here we are looking at 2 big logs in the middle of a pond. The log in front has 2 smaller logs crisscrossing. To the left of that intersection at the tip of the log pointing skyward, you can see rusty brown color. It's about the size of a crow, and here we are looking at a green heron standing still while it tries to fish. On the same day of the Reed College Canyon hike, we went outside the canyon in the Woodstock area and saw some people gathering to look at the top of a tree. At the very top of the tree, there seems to be a bunch of dead branches. On the far left side in the open area, you will see some yellow and notice the white. This is a beak of a mature bald eagle nesting. You will find Sibley's advice to look at the edge of things to be a great tip for you to use. Here we are on Sovey Island. We're scanning the treetops. We notice not all of the branches are green. From the very top of the tree on the right-hand side, we see a bird that is bigger than a crow resting on the tip of the 5th branch, and we are looking at an osprey. We took a trip out to Oak Island Wildlife Area, and we were looking at a lone tree in the meadow that is covered in lichens. Looking at the lowest branch on the left-hand side of the tree, about midway on the branch is a spot of orange-brown color, which is about the size of a robin. Here we have a black-headed grosbeak. Now we are down in the E.E. Wilson Wildlife Area. There's a very thick branch at about a 30 to 35 degree angle. Just to the left of the midpoint on the branch, there's a bird about the size of a robin with slate gray, black body, and a brown head. This is the brown-headed cowbird. We are BiblioBirders. This has been a Hillsborough Library production. Please join us again next week. Thank you.